and it is very gelatinous. Let's make some breakfast, and for once there is nary an egg in sight. I will pause while the shock and awe fill the room. It's very rare for me, although that's a little bit of a lie because alongside breakfast I'm probably going to be doing a side quest of deviled eggs. But that's more for like a little snack situation later rather than like the main event, so I digress. It doesn't matter. I came across a keto oatmeal recipe and colored me intrigued. We have to try this. So that's what we're going to be getting into this morning. The recipe is very simple, very straightforward. All you do is throw all your ingredients in a pot, you thicken, and you serve. And those ingredients are as followed. 1/4 cup of hemp hearts, 2 tablespoons of chia seeds, 2 tablespoons of ground flax, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 2 tablespoons of swerve sweetener, half a teaspoon of vanilla extract, pinch of salt, 3/4 of a cup of water, 1, 2, 3. And now we begin the thickening. I'm really hoping that this turns out good because I'm always looking for ways to increase fiber whilst doing keto. And this has quite a bit of fiber in it. But while we're on the topic of trying to fill gaps in nutrition, let's talk about today's sponsor, Ritual. I've been taking their Essential for Women 18 Plus multivitamin for that purpose exactly. To cover my bases and to help plug any nutrient gaps in my diet. It's a clinically backed, clean, high quality multivitamin for women ages 18 to 49. The key nutrients are in bioavailable forms, it's vegan friendly, non-GMO certified, gluten free, and formulated without major food allergens. I personally love that Ritual is made traceable, meaning they share where their key ingredients come from and why they're there, so you know what you're putting into your body, because not all ingredients are created equal. Listen, the supplement industry is kind of like the Wild West in the fact that it's not really well regulated. However, Essential for Women 18 Plus is USP verified, which is a third-party certification that sets one of the highest bars for product transparency. And less than 1% of multivitamins have earned this mark. Not to mention they look pretty darn cool. But the looks are for a purpose. Their delayed release capsules are designed to be gentle on the stomach so you can take them with or without food. And side note, they're also essenced with mint, so they smell really lovely. I just take 2 of these capsules daily and I'm good. Plus they're subscription based, so I'll never run out. So if you'd like to try Ritual for yourself, you can use code BeatriceCrusoe25 to get 25% off. Just go ahead and scan that QR code on screen or click that link in my description. Huge thank you to Ritual for supporting this channel. Now back to oatmeal. Okay, I think she is thick enough. I might go ahead and like just add a couple of things, like this pumpkin pie spice, along with some chopped walnuts for texture. And it is a consistency. All right, let's taste test it. It is very gelatinous. If you have a texture issue, I can foresee you having a problem with this. But other than that, it's quite nice. I don't know, I'd definitely make this again. It's a good way to switch up the monotony of eggs. You want something out here? You want more? Okay. It's kind of a dreary gray-ass day today, and it's kind of getting me down, to be honest. So I'm gonna force spring to happen and go pick up Elmo, and we're gonna see what Home Depot has to offer in the garden department, because Lowe's is letting me down, not putting out their stuff lickety-split. And I might buy a tree. I've got it in my head that I need to plant a tree. It's not a bad idea. Certainly not the worst idea I've ever had. Say hello, Edgemon. It's really cold out here. I'm thinking about getting this crabapple tree. But first we gotta get other plants and then come back for the big one. Yeah, that one's nice. This one is 35 to 40 feet though, and this one's smaller. I think I'd get this one.
That's what I have in the front yard.
Yeah, I like that one. It's so cold. These smell good. Oh my goodness. We have loaded the tree in my SUV and it barely fit. But it worked because as soon as I purchased it, the sun came out. Did you notice that?
Yeah. Maybe that's a good sign.
We have summoned spring. So I'm kind of a false herald of spring because it's pretty cold today, but I'm still gonna do activities getting ready. Hi ladies. Oh. Everyone's getting me. Quit getting me in the crotch. Uh-oh, I see a hawk. That's okay, I'm gonna be out here with you. Everyone's gonna be safe. Also, side note, a goal of mine this season is to befriend some crows because crows will keep the hawks away from your flock of chickens. Plus they bring you little shiny objects and I want that for me. Anyways, first thing we're gonna do is unbatten down the hatches on the chicken coops, get the ladies some airflow ready for spring, and I'm gonna clean out the chicken coop, and then we will move on to planting that tree that I bought and other yard work. Let's get to it. Let's get to it, ladies. We put this plastic up over a majority of the walls of the chicken run, excluding the top for ventilation, of course, in the winter to keep out snow, rain, and wind. But it's still transparent to let the light in so it isn't completely drab. But we are planning to upgrade to a more sustainable option in the form of plastic corrugated panels that we can bolt on and keep every season. But we hadn't corralled a person with a truck to help us haul supplies in time for this past winter, so we just had to use the contractor plastic that we already had. But I am going to be keeping this material for drop cloth purposes for whatever random projects I do this year. And someone did ask me in the comments if having chickens saved me any money, and I would just like to address this. That's a big no. Absolutely not. Even when egg prices were crazy high, it didn't offset the cost of feeding and caring for them. But I will say that I really enjoy having chickens, so don't get me wrong. It's been extremely interesting to watch them grow up from little yellow puffballs that were mailed to us from Missouri to chunky golden sassy pants McGraths that lay us a bunch of eggs. The eggs also do seem to be a bit higher quality than like regular grocery store eggs. At least the yolks from our chickens are this like dark orange rich color, whereas the ones that I was getting from the grocery store before are kind of pale yellow. So whatever that means. And it is nice to know that the chickens who laid them are relatively happy. I mean, at least I think they are. It's kind of hard to tell. But anyways, a lot does go into it. I mean, there are people on the internet who will tell you that chickens are the easiest thing and everyone should have chickens. And I mean, I guess they're kind of easy, but also, despite all the research I did prior to getting them, there has been a lot of trial and error, a lot of troubleshooting. I mean, we've had to treat chickens with rashy feet in our bathtub. We've had to change out the hen boxes, feeders, and waterers multiple times to find what works best. The fancy hen box that we initially bought, the chickens wouldn't use, so I just ended up getting cat litter boxes, and they like those perfectly. So if you're considering chickens, maybe try the cheapest option first. And you guys know about the mouse infestation you saw me deal with on a previous vlog, which I'm happy to report is no longer an issue, but that was annoying. There has just been a learning curve to this whole endeavor, so just an FYI. If you're considering getting chickens because they're cute, they are indeed cute. That is true. That is fact. They're also quite a bit of work. But now that the girls are taken care of, it's off to plant my tree. And I don't know if I'll regret all of the crap that this crabapple tree will inevitably drop if it grows at all and I don't kill it. I mean, it does say it's easy to grow on the tag, so that's a little bit reassuring, but damn. My record for being able to keep plants alive in this yard is embarrassingly low. I mean, I have just had a really hard time with it. I do much better with animals than I do plants. But I'm trying again to do some sort of landscaping because I see everyone else's flower trees blooming this time of year and I get major FOMO. I'd also like to plant a lot of fruit trees, but I need to tamper that down some because I can feel my too much gene trying to kick in here, and I need to see if I can get one tree to happen first before we go full-blown orchard. I will say though that I'm optimistic that this one is gonna make it. I'm gonna call her Eleanor, so Godspeed Eleanor. Godspeed. Anyways, moving on to my next task, filling a planter I didn't need with dirt. I found this planter box at Sam's Club that's pretty tall, and I had the idea to grow radishes in it. Maybe eventually flowers that the dogs won't be able to easily reach and destroy. They're the reason I can't have nice things in the backyard. So time will tell. Anyways, so I planted a variety of radishes in here for now, not flowers. I'm not actually sure where I will plant all of the perennials I bought, but I'm thinking in the front yard, but that won't be a today activity. Also, cooking dinner wasn't on the agenda for today either, so we popped over to Jimmy John's and they gave me the soggiest lettuce wrap known to man. It still slapped though. I mean, despite its moisture. After my latest keto video, some of you had questions that I didn't address in that video, so I'm gonna take a portion of this one to address said questions. And I wrote them down on the back of this State of Colorado Department of Revenue return envelope. So I guess we'll just go through them. So first and foremost, some of you wanted to know if I was participating in the Verta program. This is likely because you saw on my glucose and ketone meter the Verta logo. And technically I am participating in it. And if you're wondering what the Verta program is, same. Because I'm like not really participating in it. So basically, because I am doing keto and I monitor whether or not I am in ketosis, that requires me to have a meter and purchase test strips every so often, which is a little bit pricey. And lo and behold, one day a flyer comes in the mail about the Verta program because apparently our insurance covers it for free. So my ass, having already started keto, realizes that they're going to send me all of the stuff for free to check my like ketone and blood glucose levels and stuff. They give me access to a coach that I don't utilize. That chat has been laying dead. Apologies to DJ. They sent me a body weight scale. They sent me a food scale. They sent me that keto meter with the Verta logo on it that you guys saw. They send me the test strips, alcohol pads, Lancets, and then they send me those again periodically every time I run out, which is nice. So I don't have to pay to get those supplies, which is why I'm a participant in the program, and why I don't participate more in the program is because I had already started my own thing, my own keto regimen before I even knew that they existed, and I was already like on my grind, doing my own thing, in the groove, if you will. So I didn't want to like switch it up. And the program is technically still keto, they just do things a little bit differently. Like I think they track total carbs instead of net carbs, and it was kind of like a if it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of thing. And I just basically use them to get supplies. So TLDR, yes and no to me participating in the Verta program. Someone also wanted to know if I had any sweet treats during that month. And I kind of just like glossed over the food because like during my weekly vlogs, they're rather food focused on kind of like full days of eating and just recipes that I have throughout the week. So I didn't want to spend too much time in the keto video making it way too long. So I just kind of like glossed over and showed like some of the meals that I had. But I didn't really have that many sweet treats. I was avoiding sugar alternatives, so that was kind of like the main reason that I didn't really have that many sweet treats. I did, however, get really into blueberries and strawberries. And the funny thing about like not having sugar for a while is after a while your taste buds really recognize when there's sugar in something. And the blueberries tasted amazing, same with the strawberries. I was even tasting sugar in things like celery. I was like, does this taste sweet to you? And Steven's like, you're crazy. And it was just because I wasn't having sugar. It almost made my taste buds more sharp, if that makes sense. So like the foods that I was having that might have been boring in comparison to like having something with a sugar alternative in it was just much more flavorful. But that being said, as you could tell by the beginning of this video with the keto oatmeal recipe, which had swerve in it, I am letting myself have sugar alternatives more often now. I just don't really want to rely on them as much as I was previously, where I was like, I need my fix. I need my Pepsi Zero. I just want to kind of like limit it to like not an everyday kind of thing. I don't know. That's just me. This next one isn't really a question. It's more of a statement. It says, doesn't sound good for vegetarian, referring to keto. And it's kind of funny because apparently you can even be vegan on the keto diet. When people think about keto, they typically think about like the dirty keto diet, you know, cheeseburgers without the bun, just like bacon and jalapeno poppers and just really greasy, constant red meat and all of this stuff. And apparently there are a million ways to do the keto diet. The diet in itself is just referring to changing the balances within the macros, like increasing the fats, lowering the carbs. Which I don't know how you do that when you're a vegan, but I saw it multiple times when I was researching. I think I did read the vegan thing in the book Brain Energy by Dr. Chris Palmer. I could be mistaken. I could have heard about it on the Metabolic Mind channel. You'd have to look that one up, but I've heard that it's possible. Again, don't know how, but I just thought that was an interesting snippet to include. This next one, are you using Manjaro? And if not, what do you think helped you succeed this time? I get asked a lot if I am using Ozempic or Manjaro or any of those other GLP-1s. I did a whole video on this topic in the past because at the time I was considering it maybe. I wanted to deep dive into some research, and ultimately I decided that it was not for me. Not to shame anybody who's using a GLP-1. I know that it really helps people and it could be life-changing. I just feel if there was ever someone to get a negative effect from it, with my luck, it would be me. And I just do not want to risk gastroparesis. That sounds absolutely horrible to me. And I would try any other option before that. For me, personally. Not shaming anybody else. Let that be clear. I just would rather turn over every other rock, every other option. Because at this point in my life, it's not like my weight was this life or death situation that I know a lot of other people are in. I wasn't having any adverse health side effects from my weight. Not saying that I wouldn't in the future if I kept it on. I'm just saying at that moment I had a little bit of time to experiment, find stuff. So moving on to the second part of this question, what do you think helped you succeed this time? And I think basically, it's just keto. I found what worked for me. Keto is like a GLP-1 in the sense that it helps you control appetite a lot, which really helped. It helped to not think about food all the time. It helped to not feel hungry all the time after I've just eaten. For whatever reason, my body responded really well to the keto diet. And that's just been my personal experience. Do not think for 1 second that I'm trying to recruit you to this keto cult. I 100% think that it is not for everybody. The only generalization that I'd ever make about weight loss is that there is no one size fits all solution. There's not one singular thing that's gonna work for absolutely everybody. There's always situations that differ and make you have to be a little bit more creative in your efforts if that's your goal to lose weight or getting healthier, whatever else. Just for me, I did find something that is inherently pretty strict, but for whatever reason, it's easy because my body feels good on it. You know what I mean? If I was really struggling and I felt bad, it wouldn't work. And like I said, I'm mainly doing this for my mental health. The weight loss has been a benefit, of course, but how I've been feeling mentally has made it worth it. And some people were concerned about the sustainability of this diet, saying it's not sustainable if it's not something you can stay on forever. I would agree in the sense that it is a strict diet. I've said that over and over again. But I'd also say what even is sustainable? Genuinely, I'm asking because I have never been that person that's ever done anything sustainable. I crave novelty. For me and my personality, nothing's gonna be sustainable for me. My entire life, in every aspect of it, I've never been the one thing. I go through phases. I have new interests every single month. I'll have a favorite food that I eat over and over and over again, ad nauseum, and then completely drop it and forget about it for months. So I guess I just don't really know what sustainability even looks like for me. I think that in areas where it really matters, financially, taking care of animals, those sorts of things, I can sustain a certain habit, but when it comes to things that are more open, I definitely do not. There's never just been this through line of things that I've consistently done. Workouts, I'll get bored of. I need to switch that up. Food, same thing. And I guess I just don't really know what that means to have a sustainable diet. I guess my official response would be keto is as sustainable as you want it to be. Someone with a gluten allergy. A gluten-free diet to someone else's point of view would not look sustainable, but like if that person wants to not have a celiac flare up, they better adhere to it so it's sustainable for them. So yeah. Last little bit, some of you were asking about recipe lists or making recipe cards or even publishing a cookbook. Girl, I don't know how to publish a cookbook. Don't expect that anytime soon, but I am planning on making more shorts that are just like recipes, and like making a playlist so you can find all of that really easily. I also do want to start making recipe cards again, just because I want to start making art in general a lot more again. Just something to feed my soul. But like I said, my interests every month, they be changing. Right now I'm heavily into gardening and landscaping. But anyways, I guess that's enough talking. I just want to thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having an amazing day, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!